When you make a fast food run to Chick-fil-A, are you in the mood for multigrain oats and fruit? Or perhaps a spicy breakfast sandwich on a biscuit? You might be disappointed. Keep watching for some classic items that have been removed from the menu. Chick-fil-A's breakfast menu is enough to make any morning better, and it was especially great when they offered their cinnamon cluster, a gooey mass of cinnamon and doughy goodness. When the chain released this sticky pastry in 2005, it was instantly met with rave reviews. One notice from Cron described it as perfectly delicious and wished it had been available throughout the day, as it could have also made for a tasty dessert. Customers were noticeably upset when the cinnamon cluster departed. One fan even took to change.org in an effort to revive it, though that petition eventually ended unsuccessfully. For now, the cinnamon cluster remains in the past, and we can only hope that it will return at some time in the future.
We're sending you back to the future!
Chick-fil-A oatmeal was so beloved by customers that it earned a permanent spot in the Menu Legends Hall of Fame, right next to the cinnamon cluster. Chick-fil-A was excited to introduce oatmeal to its menu back in 2011, as the addition was in response to customers' desire to have more healthy options. As Vice President of Brand Strategy and Design, Woody Falk put it, "Our menu is all about choices. We offer our signature Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit for the more hearty appetite, to the cinnamon cluster for those craving something sweet in the morning, to the health-minded customer who now has an additional choice of our slow-cooked oatmeal." It was a mouth-watering take on the classic breakfast food, and customers were fond of this comforting dish. The slow-cooked multigrain oats were customizable and could be dressed up with toppings like brown sugar and berries, or enjoyed plain. Unfortunately, though, Chick-fil-A's oatmeal only lasted until 2016, before being relegated to a distant memory.
This is just a memory.
Fruit and vegetable lovers were disappointed when they learned that Chick-fil-A had removed its Asian salad from the menu. The dish packed red cabbage, wontons, oranges, and honey sesame dressing into a beautiful medley of flavors topped with juicy, crispy chicken. It wasn't around for long, just 3 years, but it made an impact, as it pleased patrons around the country. Once again, fans took to change.org to petition against the removal, but only a handful of people signed it, making it appear rather unlikely that the powers that be at Chick-fil-A will ever offer it again. However, the chain didn't leave its customers completely high and dry when they removed the Asian salad. They quickly replaced it with the spicy Southwest salad, which is still currently available. The change was part of the restaurant's effort to offer more nutritious choices. As Chick-fil-A's head of menu development, David Farmer, explained, "We're fully committed to providing more healthy options, and we're seeing purchase behavior move in that direction." While it's certainly a different flavor profile than the Asian salad, the spicy Southwest is still a fresh option. Knowing that Chick-fil-A didn't eliminate a fan favorite without some sort of replacement softens the blow at least a little bit. Chick-fil-A's coveted carrot raisin salad was sadly subject to the same fate as everything else on this list. In 2013, the chain axed it from their menu, closing a historic chapter since Chick-fil-A's founder, Truett Cathy, wrote the recipe himself. Made with shredded carrots and filled with raisins and pineapple bits, this sweet salad was a Chick-fil-A staple for generations, making the news of its death a huge blow. Customers asked the restaurant to reverse their decision, with some taking to the internet to lament the loss. A former employee shed some light on the menu change, noting on Reddit, "No one bought it. We probably sold 1 to 2 per day. It wasn't worth it for the prep time to pay someone to make something that wouldn't sell." Chick-fil-A has never released an official statement as to why they no longer offer the item, so we'll have to take that employee's word for it. And although carrot raisin salad is no longer on the menu, Chick-fil-A has at least hooked us up by publishing the recipe on their website. In 2017, Chick-fil-A said goodbye to its chicken salad sandwich, which featured chopped chicken, hard-boiled eggs, celery, and relish, all sandwiched between toasted bread and leaves of crisp lettuce. A recipe was posted online, so at least fans can now recreate the magic at home. Chick-fil-A knew that customers would be upset. As they revealed to Today Food, the decision to remove chicken salad from the menu was a difficult one. We know many of our customers loved our chicken salad, but we have also heard from guests that they are looking for new tastes and fresh flavors on the menu in our restaurants. The chicken salad sandwich was removed around the same time that the chain discarded other favorites in an attempt to offer new, healthy options. As David Farmer told Business Insider, "We don't want folks to think we're walking away from classic Chick-fil-A items, but we are going to have to part with some things to make way for some new items." Arguably the most crushing loss ever to the Chick-fil-A menu was the spicy chicken biscuit, which was removed so that the chain could include a frosted coffee and egg white grill. While the biscuit had its fans, it apparently didn't have enough of them. As David Farmer revealed, the spicy chicken biscuit represented 0.5% of breakfast sales. But depending on where you live, you might not be entirely out of luck. While the spicy chicken biscuit isn't available nationally, it can be found in 95 cities in the United States. And Chick-fil-A has a handy list of locations on its website so that you can know exactly where you need to go to track it down. As for those of us who aren't nearby, we're still disappointed, but we'll always have plenty of love to spare for Chick-fil-A.
Tastes like chicken.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite fast food are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.